True Blue Thai here from Thailand. Hope you're doing well. One put here in Thailand, and it's Wednesday. It's a bit of a cloudy one today, but still, I woke up sneezing this morning, a bit cold this morning. I'm like, whoa, got a bit chilly. About 27, 20 degrees, but it's packed up to about 30 degrees. 11 o'clock in the morning here. Been out doing a few things. I started brushing leaves, done the house. She's at work. Brilliant. So I think it's just me and you. Right. Guys, hope you're doing well. So, hell of a, the last couple of days has been quite quiet, and so it's all kicked off. We talked about a Puma. We're going to do a deal. I didn't realise it was going to be the deal of the century. So, yeah, fantastic. It's like we broke a record of 100 million per year. 10 till 2035, 30, what's it called? It's going to be £1 billion, etc. deal, bigger than anybody else. Now, let's see how that stands, because I'm damn certain, because I've just texted my friend, etc., who's a Liverpool fan, who will probably say, well, Liverpool's deal was bigger than that, and I'm sure United fans will go, yeah, the Liverpool United fans deal is bigger than that, but but even though United have got to pay 10 million back to Adidas for not claiming the Champions League, I don't care. I don't care if it's the biggest, I don't care, whatever. All I know it's a fantastic deal. Really happy with Puma. I think they're doing a really good job. City, for instance, I was an Umbro kid as a growing up. I was always Umbro for City, but yeah. So for instance, I love Kappa with the iconic kit. But for instance, I thought since Puma have come in, etc., they've done a fantastic job, and they want to stay at City, and we're welcome them to stay. And again, I'm wearing my stripy kit today, for instance. I'm really delighted about it. Really, I think they've done a fantastic job. That's so cool about last year's. I thought this definitely is the year. The stripes is absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best one in the league, in the Premier League. I'm out biased, I don't care. The white with the stripes it takes me back, etc., to Colin Bell, Francis Lee, Mike Sumby, my era, and seeing the stripe kit. I've always liked that stripe kit, the white with the stripe, and it really looks good with the guys in the Club World Cup. And for instance, the black kit looks amazing. That's going to be the most successful kit, apart from the maybe the treble kit and the Kappa kit, but it's definitely going to be up there. The green kit, well, I think you drank or dropped the ball. 3 out of 4 is not too bad. It's like that. What was it called? What was the 3 out of 4? 2 out of 3 is not bad. For instance, Meatloaf, Meatloaf song. 2 out of 3, bad. Yeah, great song that. Great band. Yeah, R.I.P. Anyway, so. Yeah, so welcome. Well, yeah, absolutely fantastic. 100 million. What's it called? I'm damn certain. I can't wait for the 115 crap. What's it called to come out of Jim White's mouth today? Well, how come Man City can get £1 billion kit deal, etc., with their 115? Well, maybe we know where it isn't, and maybe we're going to be cleared of all charges. Maybe. So yeah, I'm damn certain we will. Anyway, so but it's funny. I love it. I absolutely love it. And when City keep going up and up and up and up and up, and all the red cartel are doing whatever they can, just hold us back, etc. And we just keep on coming at them. And this season we're definitely going to come at you, and it's going to be a tough one with Liverpool. And Liverpool buying the league. Oh no, you can't buy the league. Breaking the transfer record twice in a year. Oh, you can't by buying the league, Liverpool. Oh no, he's at for 120 mil. So I think it's shocking, absolutely shocking. And what's it called? Unbelievable. And poor old Newcastle because of PSR. Now, who created PSR? And everything. Was it the Red Cartel? Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Spurs, for some strange reason, are in the part of the Red Cartel to stop Newcastle, and they do it now. They're trying to steal their players. I think it's disgusting. And so I hope he doesn't go, because again, for instance, if we can't get Liberamento, you ain't getting these up, pal. And we're certainly not going to be doing that. Anyway, so guys, let's move on. Caro Toure, welcome to the full slave, the Pep's background staff full time. Deserved it. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Was good at the Club World Cup. I thought he really got into the players. I think he's got the enthusiasm with Pep Linders and James French. Was good. And I think it looks really, really exciting backroom bench. I thought last season we looked too lethargic, too quiet, and you need the coaches to get up and get stuck in with the players. And and Carlo looks like he deserved it. I've seen him with the youth setup, how his influence is there, how he gets really excited. Proper City player fan, and brilliant. Congratulations to you, Carlo. Edison, that came out of the blue. Well, did it? Has it not? Talked over the last few days about Edison and about him and his interest in staying at City, or was he going to go? Because everybody was talking about Morgan Gibbs-White or Rodrigo or whatever, Camavinga, somebody talks about. And anyway, and I said no. The biggest problems for Man City is the right back and the goalkeeping and transitions. So yeah, and it looks like, and they get away with the goalkeeping but I was still a bit uncertain. And but looks with the Galatasaray proposal and £9 million, etc. is peanuts. It really is. But the word from the Edison camp is that, for instance, if the wages match his expectations, he's happy to go. And if he's going to go that damn quick, that is a concern, because quite honestly, it just shows how desperate he is to go. And and quite honestly, after the abuse he got by so-called City fans to his wife about him. About his performance at the Club World Cup, I thought it was pathetic. Knowing when I was actually looking with Sky Blue Times, etc., we've seen the video, a very good video they've done of how we conceded those goals on transition, where basically, for instance, it wasn't all his fault. And he calls out the likes of Ignore. Everybody's gassing up at the moment, and you can't do nothing wrong. And then Ilkay Gundogan, for instance, and a few other players actually too, who didn't do their best to prevent that goal, the goals against Ignore. Because again, for instance, I've always said there's 10 other players before Edison, and yes, he deserves some criticism, but to say that he was the be all and end all of why we went out against in the Club World Cup is not true. And also, for instance, the abuse he's getting, I'm not surprised after the no love after the Spurs game when he went out to Ortega, and then, for instance, the disrespect by City basically was going to not give him a better contract. I don't know how long the new contract was on the table, but he deserves to be on a better salary. And for instance, I can't believe how underpaid he is. And for instance, they're now giving his wife abuse, for instance, by so-called City fans. Get out of our club, and because of Club World Cup, etc. It's just shocking. So I'm not surprised he doesn't feel loved and special at Manchester City. So even though he was, he's got qualities which a lot of players don't. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world, no, but bloody hell, he can cross a ball, he can play out from the back, which is what City do. He's great with his feet. He can play a ball, for instance, to Erling Haaland to get the goals, and to Mamouche and to Gundogan, and for instance, so he does a lot for the and when typical City put all the goalkeepers, Diego Costa, all the rest of the goalkeepers, and put them in a line, who came out number one? Edison. So if we're partly to blame for him going, and those son of a bitches who slagged him off, then you need to go to hell and stop call yourself a City fan. And then so we should need to take responsibility and for this. What's happening? Will I take a step up? Are we going to get number two? Is Trafford going to come in before out? Everybody's talking about, Trafford needs to come in and play. Is Trafford? It's all right saying, but Trafford needs to come in as a number two. He can't come in as a number one. He's not good enough. Just because he had a lousy season at Burnley, it's just his first season. He played well last season, but he's now playing back in the Premier League. You know, for instance, and everybody's talking about, oh, well, if you develop for England, give these guys time to develop. And we'll talk about Nico O'Reilly in a minute. But let's give these guys time to develop. If he can't accept by being number 2 at City, for instance, then he shouldn't. You know, regardless, if you're going to go somewhere number 1 and then screw up, then you just screw up for the rest of your, and you could screw up for the rest of your career. Pushing players too quickly. So no, I think he'll either go to. I welcome James Trafford into Manchester City as a number 2 if we do lose to Edison, but and it will be either between Diego Costa or for instance Ortega, but definitely not a number 1. And if Ortega's like he's not signing a new contract either, so it's going to be a tough one. So I hope we've. Be ashamed to see Edison leave, but I'll be no surprise really to the way he's been treated. Right. What else? Kolo Toure, for instance. Nico O'Reilly. Yeah, let's talk about Nico O'Reilly. I've just basically just calmed down a little bit because Qantas was listening to Lewis LB, for instance. Again, he does a good job. He does a good shout, for instance, like that. But he was basically, for instance, and I was listening to him. I haven't listened to his. He's gone on. He was talking with. What's his name? A guy, for instance, he does Mancunian Way, for instance. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He does a great job as well. And fortunately, for instance, but it's gone on for 2 hours, about less than 15 minutes. And he was saying how Fabrizio's now come out and said people are interested in Nico O'Reilly and Premier League, which is no surprise because he's a great player. And he said if it was Nico O'Reilly, you should let him go. And the answer is no. I think that's a stupid idea. A stupid idea. Again, I've only listened 5, 10, 15 minutes of it. And but I think, for instance, and the thing is, this is the, you have a guy, for instance, who's popped in. He was now part of the. He's coming to the first team squad last season. For instance, he's now part of. He got his opportunities because the amount of injuries we had. Okay, and he shined, right? Did he come out and absolutely fantastic? He played, and when he started every game, did he shine every game? No. Why? Because he's not at that level yet. It's okay to sit there and say, oh, well, if he goes out and he'll get promised first team football, regular first team football. Now, that'll either, for instance, Pirelli's, shoot up his career, straight away, or it might stifle his career, for instance, or he might go down the opposite way. Now, I think he's a very talented, lovely young man, but the fact is, he's at the best club right now for his development, and this is the problem. When you're getting a player, for instance, he'll either sink or swim if he's going to be pushing the deep end. And just because he's good enough when they're playing in a good team like Manchester City, doesn't mean to say he'll go off to a worse team. Like United, for instance, and shine. For instance, and I think, for instance, it could be very bad for his development. Right now, he's in the perfect place. Regardless of the amount of crap that Manchester City get, but compared to the likes of Brighton, they go, the best club or the best run club. No, Manchester City are a very, very good run club. We've got a fantastic youth setup. We've got a great academy, EDS, and we've got a great a pathway for youngsters to either come or move on to whatever when they get developed. But the thing is, if you push a player, just because the Palmer thing worked out, there's probably a lot of players who don't work out. I've seen a few players who've gone to Southampton and started for Southampton, not ripping up trees, are they? So I think you're actually stifling a player, for instance, his development by sending him off. We need him at Manchester City, Nico O'Reilly. We need him just as much as he needs us. He's at the right place for his development, and he needs to stay at City. And just pushing him going off to the Bundesliga just because he worked out for Jadon Sancho, so called, or Judas worked out there doesn't mean it's going to work out well for everybody. And just you're talking. You got to be smart. You can't just push these guys, and these guys need proper people around them to protect them and to stop them from being pushed too far, their careers pushed too far forward and going for that big money move. You talk about Sanchez. Sanchez has got an arrogant son. He was an arrogant son of a bitch at City. City moved him on because he was an arrogant son of a bitch. He's gone off to the Bundesliga and done well. And then he's got this massive bunny move by Man United where they all bigged him up like he was the new bloody Ronaldo. And now it's turned out to be an absolute waste of space. And now, for instance, and nobody wants to touch him with a barge pole. Why? Because he got this massive money moved. He doesn't want to. His wages is more important. Now he's one of the what's it called, the miserable five, etc. Over at United, having a wasting his career. Doesn't mean just because he shows potential. You need to do what the Foden did. Yes, he should. He should stay at City. He should try the Foden route because he's at the right place. He's the right development. And pushing him into the squad, would you have him in the Manchester City starting lineup today? No. Well, if you're not even in the Man City starting lineup, no, why should he go and go to so he's got to go to a lesser team and prove himself? And what happens if he doesn't work out? He's at the right place for his development. And Manchester City need him because, again, how many times have we looked at our bench last season when we were out with these injuries, which nobody expected we were going to get, and we got them, and he was on the bench, and this guy, he was on the bench, for instance, and we looked at our bench and we turned around, and on more than one occasion, LB, I listened to you, and you said to me, our bench is trash, our bench is dead. Right, if we go off and sell all our goddamn players, well, what's the bloody point? We need a squad of 25 players, regardless of what Pep says. Need a big squad, small squad, blah blah blah. We need a big squad, and the reason why we need a big squad because we're going for the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the League Cup, right? And also we don't know what we're going to have. Like last season's injuries was colossal, ridiculous. Rodri, Bob, Akanji, everybody had one yesterday. The only person who didn't have one was Josko Guardiola, who played the season. But you also saying the fact that it was only a matter of time before he goes down, right? So we need players who we can bring on. So we need Nico O'Reilly, State Man Cities to bring on, and he's not. Of course, he's going to get first team, but he's not going to get first team to get every game because he's not at that level to get first team, right? That's the reason why we got Turkey in. That's the reason we got Reinders in. Now we got whatever. It's not because he's been disrespectful, because he's not at that level. And if he goes off to a Premier League club or whatever, and they promise him a bigger salary, what's it called with a first team play, it doesn't mean to say he's going to shine. Now, I think he will but I think he's at the right place. We need him to bring him on. Also, he will also start in the cup games as well. You never know. But also, offensively, you never know if he gets more injuries. To players, and he might bring him on. He might get more games. But to sit there and tell him, he should go, is pathetic. I'm sorry, I'm not having it, LB, at all. It's not good for his development. You're pushing these kids too far forwards, giving them the big contracts, etc., and they're either sinking or swimming, and a lot of them sink. And just because the odd one works, just because everybody works. And I just find it so. I think that's a bit crazy, LB. I think you just get it wrong. You need to be. I need to listen to more of what you were talking about with what's it called in your chat. But to sit there and say that he needs to go, for instance, no, absolutely not, definitely not. You might as well just get rid of everybody, for all the youth, and say whoever's on the bench. If you're not on the bench, you're not starting for man. Just go. We need a squad, mate. For Christ's sake, we need to go on in the Women's Premier League, and we need players to bring him on. And right now, he's at the best place for his development because we're the ones who've been looking after him, bringing his development, bringing him, giving those minutes, right? 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes there. What's it called? In his development, getting into the because there's a massive difference between EDS, Premier League, right? Champions League, Premier League, right? So, for instance, and just because he's done well doesn't mean that, for instance, he's fully developed. And going off to a Premier League club or the Bundesliga, just because he worked out for Jude Bellingham, how many people it has not worked out for? And pushing a player, for instance, is just too much for it. I don't get it. I really don't. Honestly, I don't buy that at all. You gotta be careful with players' futures. And if he's, I know his mum's always going to beg him up, etc. His what do you call it? His agent will go, whoa, stars in my eyes, cashing his out. He won't give a shit, right? Mates around him will talk about, but he needs people around him to be smart and say, listen, you're the best place. We need you. for instance, and this is his best place for development. And going off to another club, etc., could ruin his career. Absolutely, just because he gets full team squad, and it's not always the good thing to get full team playing every game. LB, just because he gets it doesn't mean it's good for him, because his development, because he's got to learn. For instance, and again going to I don't know, but I'm not buying it. Anyway, guys, I want to be so happy today, but no, I urge Nicola to stay, urge Edison to stay if he can. And but I'm so delighted because of the Puma deal and kolo toure. Guys, I'm going to leave you. True blue tie from Thailand. I hope you have a really good day, and speak to you tomorrow.